Okay, in this next example, we are going to solve the equation the secant of x times the cosecant of x minus 2 times the cosecant of x is equal to 0. So remember some of the rules of working with equations. We want to try to factor and see what happens, right? So if we factor out a cosecant, we would have the cosecant of x times quantity, the secant of x minus 2 and quantity is equal to 0. And now remember properties of real numbers, right? We would want to use the zero factor theorem, and says if we have a product equaling 0, then one of the factors must be 0, or both. So we would have the cosecant of x is equal to 0, or the secant of x minus 2 is equal to 0. And from here we want to solve each of these two equations separately. And for the first equation, the cosecant of x equaling 0, we have to remember what is the range of the cosecant. In other words, is the cosecant ever equal to 0? And if we remember the graph of the cosecant, its range is greater than 1 or less than -1 or equal to -1. So we would find out that the cosecant of x is never 0. So we don't have to worry about that particular case. So the second equation, we would have the secant of x minus 2 equal to 0. And that gives us the secant of x is equal to 2. And from here we want to transform this equation into one involving cosine. So we would have the cosine of x is equal to 1/2. Remember that the secant is 1 divided by the cosine. So now in solving this final equation here, we want to remember where does the cosine equal 1/2. Well, if we draw the unit circle again, here's our unit circle, and cosine equal 1/2 occurs in the first quadrant and down here in the fourth quadrant. And cosine equal 1/2 occurs when we have that fundamental angle of pi/3. And then we can use symmetry. If this is pi/3, down here would be pi/3 in the fourth quadrant as well. And we have pi/3 or minus pi/3 are the two fundamental solutions to where cosine is equal to 1/2. Therefore, writing down the generalized solutions, we would say x is pi/3 plus 2k pi, or x is minus pi/3 plus 2k pi as the two solutions to that trigonometric equation.